is the gaming channel, and I have taken over the pod once again. Oh, come on, Liam. Oh, well, anyway, we've got the return of the king. He's finally back. Burn! Drinking a small glass of gin. And obviously, as always, Mr. Liam's here, so cool stuff. And
Hello.
I've got with me a glass of Banksy's.
Oh. What is that?
Banksy's is a bitter.
Okay.
Have you got any drinks?
I was going to say, you're both on the alcohol. I've just got my cranberry juice.
No judgment. Good for kidney function. Bad for kidney function, different.
Yeah. Liam, I genuinely thought you were just going to say then, I have actually got a small glass of wine. And then you were just going to down it. That would have been the cool. Liam, I probably would have had a laughing attack. I probably would have fell over and just malfunctioned and self-destructed if that happened. So it probably happened.
Yeah, it probably was for the best then. Otherwise, this podcast would be in trouble.
Well, yeah, I'd fall over and just be laughing my head off and probably and then you and Ben would just have to take over the show. So, but so I just want to let anyone who's watching know that we are structuring the podcast a bit differently. So we're going to start off with 2 segments first, and then the main topic, which is like the review, and then 2 segments afterwards, and maybe some news in the middle somewhere. We can't do one of the segments because George isn't here, called George's Guilty Pleasure Anime, where we guess if 2 anime photos are from a hentai or not. And we all failed on the last one.
I think I'm glad we can't do that one.
When we do that one, though, because
what did you say, Ben?
I'll be on the episode for when we do that because I'm looking forward to it.
We're going to try and do as many. Well, we can pretty much do as many of them as possible, really. As long as George has a photo, we can just do them. So, yeah. But what's the next pod after this? I don't know what the next pod will be. Maybe Liam takes over, or conspiracy theories, or there'll definitely be some reviews. So, but yeah. Anyway, the first segment is a new segment called Job Slobs. So basically, what this segment entails is myself and George coming up with job options for people, and the guests, the other people on the podcast, and we and they say whether they want to do the jobs or not, and why they want to do the jobs or not. So this is I'll tell you both of George's, which are actually quite difficult. Or he might have only sent me one. He's only meant to send one, but I swear he might have sent 2. I'm not sure. I'll tell you mine though. So, I know he has sent 2, yeah, but mine is: would you rather be a Broadway singer or a dance? So you go around Broadway theatre, la di da di da, all over the place, or would you rather be like just a dancer at one place, going da 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 da, and whatever.
Can yeah.
Yeah. What would you guys pick then?
I have a decent singing voice, but I was never that great at dancing, so probably the first one, I guess.
Oh, so you'd rather be a Broadway singer, dancer, theatre person?
Yeah, I think so.
Fair. What would you go for, Liam?
I think I'd rather be a dancer.
Nice.
Yeah, just because I don't. Yeah, I'm not really a singer. Yeah.
The Colorado State Senator Stephen Armstrong is here. He's just said gay up. Wait, is Stephen Armstrong a bad person? Like, is he an alright guy? If he's some lunatic from history, I need to look up gay up then. What the hell? Stephen Armstrong. Let's just. Oh, wait, is he from? It says he's from Metal Gear.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. He's just a Metal Gear character. That's all right then. All good in the neighbourhood.
Very libertarian, apparently.
Okay. But anyway, so what I would go for is Broadway singer, just because I'd rather go all over the place and see all sorts of different areas and see all sorts of different crowds rather than just like dance at one place. It'd be cool to sing and be a part of an act. He's the greatest politician ever. It'd be cool to be singing and part of an act rather than just like stuck at one place dancing over and over and over again, So I go for the dancer. No, not the dancer. Sorry, the Broadway singer dancer. Or let's just say Broadway singer, yeah, to make it easier, because I sort of included dancing in that one previous. But yeah, Broadway singer or dancer, I'll go for the Broadway singer all over the place. Now, these are George's. Do you want to guess what they are?
I don't want to.
All right, so they're not like some stupid, bizarre madness. Basically, the first one is actually quite a difficult one. The second one I sort of laughed at a bit. I don't know why, but like the first one that I'm going to read is quite sad. So, would you rather work in a... Well, he worded it incorrectly. These are George's words. Work in a mental ward or a cancer ward. And by mental ward, I'm pretty sure he means working with like mentally ill people, serious psychiatric patients. And obviously, a cancer ward's a cancer ward, which is really depressing. So, what would you guys pick and why?
Well, I mean, I guess probably probably the. I mean, both I think probably be quite a toll emotionally. Like they're quite taxing because it takes a lot of. At one point, I think you said basically like switch off empathy. You don't switch. Well, you have to kind of disconnect. Obviously, it's just like to not let it get to you. So it's a really rewarding. No, really. Yeah, it's a fun one. Probably the first one. Yeah, just because I don't know. Maybe I'll take medication over death meds or so. Death. I don't know.
What would you go for, Mr. Liam?
I'll probably go for the cancer ward. I think.
Any reason or?
I just think 'cause if it's a mental ward, I just think. So I imagine you'd have people with all sorts of mental problems, and some people who I don't know. Like, I suppose I just feel like I don't know. I just feel like I wouldn't be able to cope with that as well. You know.
Yeah.
And I think it would sort of just be difficult to work, difficult environment to work in.
Definitely. I mean, I go for the cancer ward just because there's probably going to be some high situations where people survive and they're so happy and over the moon. And they're like, yes, I got through it, I beat cancer. So there's going to be those high moments. There's also going to be the really low moments where people are dying. With the mental ward, it's sort of like you're just sort of stuck with the patients and most of them will never leave. And you could get killed, you could get beaten up, you could get assaulted, you could get brutalized. You could have a load of mean things said to you. So yeah, I'll go for the cancer ward, but both extremely hard, difficult jobs. So, and then
a light-hearted one,
well, the final one is a bit light-hearted. Yeah, high-end window cleaners or a lift operator at the Empire State Building.
Ooh, so that's quite. I like that one because it's both like skyscraper, both tall building.
Yeah. Well, at first I thought George meant like you get paid loads for just cleaning house windows, just going like that, like a high-end window cleaner. But I'm pretty sure he means cleaning on a skyscraper.
On a 100k salary just for windows and Brockville.
Yeah, that'd be legendary. If only.
Yeah.
Ben, if you become PM, can you make that a law? Just get me a job as a window cleaner for 100k a year. Come on, Ben.
The least politically inclined out of all of us become PM.
Yeah.
Well,
just get me a job. Get me a job where I can clean windows for 100k. Or Liam could. Oh, sorry, go on, Ben.
On the off chance that does happen, and I become a figure of government, then I'll make window cleaning one of the most respected positions in all of the British trade.
Yeah, but only on ground floors though. Don't make me have to climb any ladders though.
Okay.
Give me the perks.
Yeah, not even like a second floor, no ladders, just
no ladders, just on the floor. On the floor. Thank you. I'll probably go for the lift operator myself though, just because I don't want to. I know you can fall and die and whatever, but I don't want to be outside. There's more chance of falling off the skyscraper than there is falling off the lift. And another issue is as well, you're going to be cleaning the skyscraper windows the Empire State Building windows every day. I mean, sorry, not the windows. You're going to be cleaning the really, really high up skyscraper windows every day. While
do they do it every day though? Because I feel like if they did, you'd see it more on like photos and stuff.
Well, they're probably at dangerous heights where you can die and fall off every day.
I don't know,
well, with the lift operator,
once a week kind of thing. I don't know.
They're not going to make you just wash windows once a week, then you do nothing for the rest of the week.
No, but you'd have different contracts. You'd have different clients. So you'd be washing the Empire State Building one day, price of the building, iron, the iron. The one that the Daily Bugle is in the Star Wars. No, Star Wars.
Oh,
Wait.
I don't know.
There's definitely the Iron something building. New York Iron. Oh, the Flatiron. Yeah. Like it's the Daily Bugle one, and I always remember that because in the PS2 game for Spider-Man 2, you could like enter it and like swing above it and stuff. So that's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I guess lift operator because then I have a massive fear of heights. So like,
yeah, I can relate to that so much. Yeah,
and like a dark shaft is less scary than when you can see. Okay.
I don't know what made me. Oh,
Dark
sorry about
shaft.
that.
Yeah, I only just said it. But yeah, it's less scary when you can't see what's down there, in my opinion.
Yeah,
Some people would disagree, but I think if it's just a black abyss, it's like, oh, okay, I'll fall into it. Who knows?
yeah. You could end up in Australia for all you know, but you're probably going to end up dead.
China, yeah.
Or China.
Pop out, get some orange chicken, fly home.
Exactly.
What would you go for then, Liam?
Yeah, I'd probably go for the lift operator as well because originally I was thinking, I was thinking the window cleaner would be more interesting, be more fun, but yeah, I think it's just the fact that you're so high up and both are, I suppose, dangerous, but that one is just it's quite daunting, and so I think lift operator would be probably safer and not as daunting. Yeah,
and you probably got guaranteed work every day. While with
maybe.
Oh, this is sad. This is sad, isn't it? I've just seen what you've sent me, Ben. What you put in?
Which one?
What you put in the Discord? I bought this from a charity shop for my almost 2-year-old, and then. Oh, it'd be funny. It'd be funny to sell that. Basically, it's just a Simpson DVD, and then it's opened up, and it just says extreme anal too.
Oh.
Liam, what would you do if someone bought you that for your birthday?
Well, I mean, that would.
I would marvel in the magnificence.
Well, that would just be disappointing.
Yeah, you want some quality, wholesome Simpsons content, and instead you get that.
Extreme anal too.
No, yeah.
I'm just getting everything ready for the second segment. I should have got it ready before, but I was just too lazy.
No, I was going to say is, can I submit job choices for the next time you do this? Or
we can basically the only rule, submit them to me. Just send me a message and I'll have them for the next one. But the only small rule is we can't use the same job twice because otherwise someone could keep saying, "Would you rather work at McDonald's or be a stripper?" Would you rather work at McDonald's or in the army? Would you rather, you know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
yeah.
No, I like the ones that are just like close enough but different.
Yeah. Like it can be any job. Like you could even talk about bloody cleaning equipment in a hospital, cleaning like poo off equipment in a hospital if you want. Like you can talk about all sorts of jobs,
I guess the poo equipment cleaner. It's with the NHS,
I think
gratuitously underfunded. Yeah.
Well, one person I went to work there who I knew you actually get paid £30 an hour if you work on a Sunday, and I think it's like
Really?
he said it was all right money for what you're doing.
Yeah, if you work like a fucking 6-hour shift on a Sunday.
But yeah, I've got all the jazz ready. So this is George's addiction.
No, I was wondering for a moment. I thought you were going to say this is the gaming channel.
That is all, and then the podcast just ended.
It's a short one, but
Short but brilliant. All right then. Let's get this up then. So this is George's addiction. Basically, Ben, have you been here for George's addiction? Because obviously you haven't been on for a few months, have you? So.
No, yeah, it doesn't ring a bell.
Oh, brilliant. Oh man. Keeping that meme legendary.
Nice.
You've got Liam, doesn't this make you want to watch Doctor Who a little bit?
I don't know. Maybe.
Well, if you do, watch the David Tennant era first.
No, Eccleston. Watch it in order. Don't watch Tennant first.
Well, yeah, you can watch Eccleston, sure, but like,
I used to watch Doctor. Sorry, I was going to say I used to watch Doctor Who back in primary school, like when I was quite young, like pretty much just David Tennant, but otherwise I haven't really watched the others.
Liam, didn't you like play the kid in school reunion?
Don't know what the hell is that a Doctor Who episode?
Yeah.
I don't know what you're on about.
No.
Wait, Elite Trainer box.
Was that a David Tennant one? Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
It's the David Tennant one that brought back Sarah Jane Smith from the 80s.
Yeah. But anyway, all right. So all right. So all right, I'm good to go. So basically, the George's addiction segment is where George shows us some collectibles and we guess how much they're worth. So he's already told me the answer. I did send a guess in, I promise. Oh wait. So I won't tell you guys the answer, but my guess before he told me the answer. I'll show you all the items first. I thought it was one at a time, but no, it's all the items at once. So you've got this Pikachu item. They've all got cards in them. This item. It's all just Pokemon that George raided from W.H. Smith's.
Darkrai, yeah, I recognise it.
There you go. You can see all the jazz you get on the back there. Quite a lot of stuff. All this stuff. We got this fat Pokemon with big boobies. Whatever it's called.
Nice.
Whatever this
Pokemon. Yeah. Oh dear.
And we've got this Diamond or Pearl or whatever it's meant to be. Elite Trainer.
Yeah, Arceus. Wait, is it somewhere then, or is it different items?
We just guessed their combined worth.
Oh, okay.
Before it's been different items, but all like groups of items. Basically, usually George does 3, but he's just said, guess all these in one go. And I was like, all right then. So what my guess would be £131 altogether. What would your guys' guess be?
Well, seeing as there's like 3 or 4 at least, I would say I would say £400.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go 102.
So specific, I like it.
I know, but you know, you have to be, don't you?
So the answer is 170 quid. So I've managed to win this one. So I honestly thought you guys were going to go for 150 or 160. So, but yeah, I promise you that is what George told me. All together they are 160. So yeah, I managed to bag this win. What made you say 400, Ben? Because I thought, what is it? Have you gone mad?
Well, I don't know. I just thought each was like, they looked kind of high quality. Well, it's probably George's proclivity for spending lots of money on on shit like this. I guess I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, every single. To be fair, it is your first George's addiction, so every single time, because it's George, you're just going to guess. 400 quid on random task.
I assumed the worst.
Yeah, £7,000 on random task. You know, he actually, with all due respect to GC, you know, he actually admitted on a podcast once that he'd spend. I think me and him and Aaron were debating about like PCs and whatever. Or it might have not been on a podcast. I can't remember. But basically, I said to George, if Nintendo, because he kept sucking up to Nintendo, and we was like, it's fine if you subjectively don't like PC gaming, but the arguments you're making are rubbish. He was trying to say it's objectively bad, and I was like, why? And then he said, well, it's because what if Steam shut down? And I said that's ridiculous. That's like saying, what if the Microsoft store shut down and you didn't have access to your games anymore, or the Sony store, or the Nintendo store? That's ridiculous. And he was like, well, and I said that if Steam did shut down, you still have access to those games because they're saved on your library. And he was like, oh, well, what if the library got shut down? I was like, how is that valid? That wouldn't happen. There'd be an uproar. That's like saying, what if Nintendo shut everything down and you couldn't play any Nintendo games? He was like, oh, well, and I said, when we said, George, what if Nintendo slapped their logo on a load of shit? Would you buy it? And he said, yeah. Just because it's the Nintendo logo. I mean...
Yeah, like, no, you're wrong. I mean... It's very easy to, like, if you're a fan of these things, to just spend tons and tons of money and, like, not even realize kind of how far you've gone with it, I guess.
Yeah. But anyway, I guess we can nicely move on to Doctor Strange. So, Multiverse of Madness. Honest to God, lads, I don't have a crap ton to say about it, so I'll let you guys take the floor. Ian.
Oh, okay. Well, personally, I thought personally it was good. I enjoyed it. I mean, sure, a lot of random stuff happened in it. A lot, quite eventful. A lot packed into it, and a lot of deaths. A lot of people got killed, yeah, I mean, so sure there were some like unusual decisions and maybe things where I might have thought I'd been a bit better, or this character could last a bit longer. But I still quite enjoyed it though, and I just appreciate like the uniqueness as well and the creativity and just what they were trying to do, like with like different like visual effects segments and things like that, and even the soundtrack I quite enjoyed. I thought the soundtrack was quite cool as well, with Danny Elfman composing it, and yeah, I suppose it was interesting to see Sam Raimi's vision, whatever. So
fair enough. So I guess we can take the story from the top. So it starts off with Strange and this random lady jumping around, and then this big monster's having a go, and then Strange is like, well, I'll take your power from you. And then the monster tickles Strange and he dies and goes flying into the other universe. Which I guess at the start it sort of makes you think, okay, so we're looking at the multiverse. It's a multiverse of madness, isn't it? Okay intro, I suppose. Then what happens after that? Strange is bouncing around. He's going to Christine's wedding, that's it, and he keeps saying, I'm happy, okay? I'm happy. It's all right that Christine's getting married. And he's really really like trying to enforce that he's fine with everything. And then the big eye monster comes flying through the universe and flying all over the gaff. And then that America woman is running away. The fight is pretty decent. The way they kill the monster, it shows, man, how it goes right through its big eye. You think to yourself, shit, this film is going to be violent. It's going to pull no punches. Most violent Marvel film. And then Strange questions America, and she's like, oh, well, I change universes when I'm scared. And he's like, oh, okay. And then he rolls up to Wanda, and Wanda's like, oh, I'm really annoyed. I can't see my kids. And then he's like, come on, calm down. And she's like, no. And she's like, you're going to hand over that girl to me, you stupid cunt. And then he's like, oh, okay then. Well, that's not happening. She's like, well, I'll give you a few hours before I turn giant and sit on you all. And then he was like, okay then. Then he had all the people ready to throw down, and they were putting up a good fight at first, but then Wanda got inside this person's nose and made him get scared, and then she just started tearing house and killing everyone. At this point in the film, I thought the way they've done Wanda, like she's having these dreams about the kids in the other universe and she's desperate to see her sons again. I find it really whimsical and fucking stupid because, like, at the end of the day, I don't buy it for 1 second. Like, they did this better with Shang-Chi's dad when he keeps seeing his dead wife actually alive and trapped. You understand why he's like, shit, I've got to go and save her. She's still alive and she's trapped. I've got to go and save her. So maybe if the kids were in danger and saying, Mom, help, please, we're in another universe, then you'd understand Wanda going at all costs and blowing up people's heads and killing everyone and being willing to kill America and everything just to spend time with the kids. But this is just petty and bitter. It just makes her look like a pathetic idiot. She felt bad for... If she felt this passionate about it, she would have just not given up in WandaVision. So it makes no sense for her to give up and realise, oh, I've done the wrong thing. Then to just go berserk, I just think it's a stupid arc and it makes no sense. So she was whimsical, in my opinion. But what's your guys' takes on that?
Yeah, I don't know. I think for me, I mean, just speaking in a general sense, for me, the film was really good from a directorial standpoint. Like, I thought it was really good stylistically. Like, it had a ton of Sam Raimi's horror vibes to it, and that was awesome for this kind of movie. But then I thought the script, the story itself and the scripts, especially like certain lines or scenes, they were just so weirdly written. Like the scene with the Wanda's kids where they're just singing about ice cream. I just wanted to leave, man. It was so cringy.
Yeah,
like, it was.
Ben, I'm not trying to be
first, I guess.
Ben, there's like a load of flashes on your end. Just
I know. Yeah, it's the problem with my camera. Really,
okay, fair enough. I thought it might have been something you were doing on your computer.
No, I can't really help it, unfortunately. But
do you think it'll ever be fixed or?
Unless.
Rip. It's just it doesn't matter too much. It's just for like in case epileptic people watch it, you know.
That's made it worse. Oh shit.
Oh boy.
Oh, okay, that's probably better.
Hey.
Yeah, no, it's. What was I saying?
About
You're
how
about-
the horror vibes are good, but it wasn't directed or written well.
No,
it was directed well, but it wasn't written well.
That was it. Yeah. So like, I don't know. It's just the guy who wrote it is Michael Waldron, who wrote the Loki series, and I don't know. To me, it just seems like a bit of a weird. I don't know. Like, it just doesn't seem like he's that great about telling a story or writing dialogue. So it's like, why did they keep reusing him, kind of thing? Like, it's fucking Marvel and Disney. They have access to some of the world's best writers and storytellers, and yet they're rehiring. And yet they just hire the same people who wrote like Loki was like okay, but it wasn't that great, but like a writing standpoint, you know. So I don't know.
Disney need to hire us three, man. We can make like a funny Marvel comedy show.
Mate, if they hire me to write like Fantastic Four or Silver Surfer, then
Yeah.
you know I'll do that job for them. But like,
we could write like a big massive show and make it really good for the for like nearly 2 seasons, and then have George write the season 2 finale as a joke, and then just see whatever he comes up with. They'd probably fire us out of a cannon into the sun, but you know, I think it'd be worth it.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, your thoughts, Liam, on Wanda's arc?
I suppose when you were just talking about Wanda's arc, I suppose it's sort of odd in that aspect, yeah, because it's been ages since I watched WandaVision now, but yeah, so she finished. So of course she'd sort of like trapped all of those people in what was the place called? Something View.
I can't remember what it's called. Darcy now.
And then I guess then they were freed at the end, and she went off because you know she'd done bad things essentially by doing that and this and that. But then yeah, she's thinking about the kids. Of course, like in WandaVision, the kids weren't real. They were part of the what she created. but then they do exist in the multiverse, I guess, because there's so many different versions of Wanda, and I don't know. Actually, I'm just trying to think about it. I don't know. It's difficult because it's weird. I mean, like based off when I'd watched the trailers for the film and so on, I didn't expect Wanda to be the main villain, because of course I knew she was going to be in the film, and I think was it the post-credit scene for WandaVision possibly hinted she was like tampering with like dark magic and all that, and the dark hold and all that, but yeah, I didn't think she was going to be the main villain. But she did. She was the villain for the whole film, pretty much. And I'm sort of deviating slightly, but we had Strange Supreme, didn't we? Like towards the end, he popped up, and he was in the trailer briefly. And the fact that he popped up there made you think that maybe he was going to maybe play a bigger part and maybe end up being one of the main villains. But
I didn't realise he was meant. He isn't the one from What If, though, is he?
I thought he was, but I don't know.
No. It's because the one from What If was just basically left in his universe to look at Killmonger and the other guy.
Oh yeah, I suppose. Oh yeah, to be fair, it is the multiverse, isn't it? So there's so many.
Because the one who watches them all, he's not the Watcher. He said, "Strange, can you like watch over these two who are stuck in the ball?" And he was he was like, "For fuck's sake, all right then, you bloody bald-headed bastard." And then he was he was like, "There's no need for that, Strange. I might as well put a fart in this universe and keep it there." Then he was like, "No, please." And then he said, "Watch your language, young man." Then he flew off. So that's what happened to that Strange.
Oh yeah. But I was just going to say that I don't know. I thought maybe that Strange Supreme would play a bigger role, but he just found him in the sanctum or whatever, and then they had a fight, which was like an artistic one with the music and the notes and all that.
With the music and how the music changed when the notes were hitting things. It's fine.
But then the main Doctor Strange or whatever, is he came out on top and then sent him the other one flying out the window, didn't he? And he got impaled on a fence.
Yeah, and Christine was like, "Whoa!" He wasn't happy. So
yeah, one of the many.
The eye that really scared me when it went boom like that. That was terrifying. That was like some Resident Evil stuff. That was really shocking.
Yeah, one of the many brutal moments in the film.
Liam, you know that you've watched Doctor Strange 2. Could you please play Resident Evil 4? As that's like one of the best games ever.
I know it's not meant to be as like.
It's not that scary at all compared to horror games. It's not really. It's more of a all the Resident Evil fans. I love the game the most. I really love it, but they say, "Oh, it's good, it's amazing." But the issue is, it's not a horror game. It's just a survival action horror game.
I don't know. Maybe then I might have to look at some more gameplay to see, perhaps.
Yeah, and Resident Evil 5 is like purely action mostly. It's nowhere near as good as 4. I wouldn't recommend playing that one unless you really wanted to do it as a co-op game with me for a laugh or someone else and stream it. But it's not really. It's too action. It's too much of a generic action game. But if you wanted to play it, then fair enough. It's best to give it a go than just take like my opinion. If you were interested.
Yeah.
It's an okay play, but nowhere near as good as Resident Evil 4. I haven't actually played the other Resident Evil games. Resident Evil 8 Village is really horror filled. It's sort of like on the border of me not wanting to play it, but it's not too scary. I don't know how to explain it. Yeah. Resident Evil 7's sort of the same, and I haven't, from what I've seen, 6 is meant to be just an odd game, and then the other ones, I think there's like Raccoon City and Revelations, which I don't know anything about, and there's Resident Evil 0, 1, 2, and 3. Yeah. But anyway, I was getting sidetracked. What were you saying, Liam?
I was talking about Strange Supreme, wasn't I? And him getting impaled on the fence. Yeah, like I said, one of the many brutal moments in the film. I just thought as well, because I was slightly deviating from the Wanda thing, but I just thought he would have lasted longer because, he didn't really end up having much screen time. And in the end, it wasn't too hard for Strange to defeat him. But
Yeah, he just played a few notes from Pink Floyd and just threw him out the window. So
yeah.
from Pink Floyd song. But, what was I? What the hell
Yeah,
was I
it was Wanda's arc, wasn't it? With the children and all that.
Oh no, I was going to say about Supreme. Well, the Evil Strange quickly. It seems weird that the only reason he's gone mad is because of Christine, and like, I'm not being funny with this destroyed with this destroyed universe. Like, how would he have a good life with Christine in a destroyed, shattered universe? How would he be happy? It makes no sense. Unless that was the Strange that lost Christine from What If. But even then, that Strange isn't in that universe. He's in a ball universe where he's become a better guy and he's watching over Killmonger and someone else in a glass ball for eternity. So it doesn't make any sense. So that arc's really strange. Do you see what I did there?
Yes, pun intended.
Yeah. But yeah, really strange arc. What did you guys think of the fan service then with Xavier going "Make it so" and all that jazz?
I don't know. Yeah, it was interesting to see them basically brought in just be killed off immediately. Like, it's because it feels as if the first Inhuman, the first X-Men, the first Fantastic Four character should receive a bit more kind of. Yeah, it's weird. I don't really know it sits that well with me personally.
I suppose I hadn't thought about that, but yeah, I thought it was interesting how like Wanda killed all of them, the Illuminati. Yeah, that was it. I don't know. I suppose it's demonstrating how powerful Wanda is, isn't it? And there was that bit as well where I think Professor X, he went into her mind, and did she go into his as well or something?
No. What happened is Professor X said, "Warp speed!" And then he went into her mind. And then he ran around and said, "Quickly, grab my hand! Make it so!" And then Wanda's like, "I can't get out!" And he's like, "Make it so! Make it so!" And then Wanda sort of like the red smoke went, and then it went, and like killed him. I thought he just got his neck snapped, but apparently apparently he got his head and his body ripped apart like that. But instead, I thought he just got his neck snapped.
Oh, so I thought as well.
Because when I was doing the Kino Rama on Thursday, Ed and his friends were like, "Nah, man, he got his head ripped apart, but they didn't show it on screen." It's like when Captain Carter got decapitated; they didn't show it on screen.
Oh yeah, and also there are a lot of references in this film. So, for example, when he was going to that like bit of rubble or something, when our hands like popped out, I think that was a reference to It, wasn't it? The first It, maybe with Pennywise.
Maybe, yeah.
I'm guessing. I don't know. That's what I thought.
Was the rubble supposed to be like a childhood home when he got bombed or something? Or
that's what I was thinking. To be fair, it might have been. Because there was that flashback, wasn't there, in WandaVision? Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I thought that was interesting as well. Actually, how she sort of got the better of Professor X as well. I mean, I haven't really.
No, I didn't like it. I thought it was ridiculous, to be honest. I thought this geezer, Patrick Stewart, can fly into people's minds and destroy their minds. How did she overwhelm him so easily? And why was his game plan just quick? I'll help you. Like that. I thought he's meant to be a genius. It made him look a bit like a bum. But I suppose it was just as you said, Liam, to show how powerful Wanda is. Wiping. To be honest, I didn't like the fan service personally. I thought it was just stupid. Also, there was an off-screen beef with that Modor is his name, or Modo.
Oh, Mordo. I think he's called Mordo, isn't he?
Yeah. Because I didn't realise that him and Strange had beef. That that wasn't explained previously.
It's really stupid because the post-credit scene for Doctor Strange has Mordo saying, "There's going to be no more sorcerers." And then in Doctor Strange 2, they just mention how he's like a villain or something.
Yeah, it made no sense.
And it literally doesn't.
And the Illuminati are a bunch of bums as well, because basically they were like, Our Strange was corrupted by the Darkhold and unknowingly killed a whole entire universe. So instead of trying to help him, we just killed him. Make it so. It's like, what? You guys aren't any good. You're assholes. You know.
Yeah. I mean, the Illuminati were dicks in the comics, but like they've taken it to a level of just being like, yep, they have no use whatsoever, despite the fact that they
oh, he made a mistake. He tried to save the universe. Let's fucking just kill him. Who cares? What were you going to say there, Ben? I cut you off.
Just that like the Illuminati as a concept is when you have the most smart or powerful minds the Marvel universe brought together, and that's the best they can do, and they can't kill Wanda. It's just like, what's the point of having them there then? You know?
Yeah, they
like,
should
none of them can survive against Wanda, really.
Yeah, they should have just scrapped this fan service, in my opinion. Take the whole thing out of the movie. Maybe have Mordo in it, but get rid of all the other fan service. Just have other like Doctor Strange people instead of Mordo. Mordo and instead of the Illuminati. Because what was the point of them? They just look like a bunch of bums.
Literally, it doesn't really add much, and I feel like it's a stupid way to introduce like the Fantastic Four. That's the first appearance in the MCU. Like, really?
I bet you were shaking your fist in the cinema, Ben, and about to set fire to the screen. I bet you were.
To be fair, well, because I knew about it in January, didn't I? So, like,
you knew about them dying.
I knew about Reed Richards being played by John Krasinski in January. Yeah.
Oh, but you knew like that he'd get killed off though.
At some point, yeah, eventually. So I was kind of like warmed up to it, but I don't know. It was cool to hear them mention Reed Richards, Fantastic Four, Baxter Building. There was an indirect reference to Sue Storm and Reed and Sue's children, and that was cool. Like that made me really happy in the cinema. But as time has gone by, I look back and think like, did that really need to be in the movie? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I was going to say actually, yeah, because James, you were talking about Mordo and about how you said they could have just focused on Mordo and had him instead of the Illuminati. I suppose it just sort of goes back to what I said about how there's a lot packed into this film, really, and it's not one of the longer MCU films either. It's over 2 hours, but it's only 2 hours 6. So it's shorter than the last few MCU films like Eternals and No Way Home. But yeah, I mean, of course, we knew that when we thought Mordo was going to come back because he was in the first one, and there was that post-credit scene. So you'd have thought, oh, maybe he's going to be the main villain, which he
that would have really been better. That would have been better than this bag of arse.
Maybe. I don't know. Who knows? But yeah, there's just everything else going on, isn't there? And wanting to open up the multiverse, and yeah, I don't know. Just so I guess Mordo didn't end up getting loads and loads of screen time, but I guess
which is dumb, really, because it's not even like the version of Mordo we saw in the first movie, which has just been like discarded. And it's like it goes to show that with the MCU, they don't want to. It's not like Iron Man or Captain America or Thor, where they get their own movies about their characters. Whereas it seems like with the second Doctor Strange movie, they've used it as a puzzle piece for the wider MCU to do stuff about Scarlet Witch, stuff about the multiverse, about not introducing, but like showing off the Fantastic Four and the X-Men and the Inhumans and stuff. Like, it's just, I don't know. It didn't feel to me like Doctor Strange's movie. It felt like a movie that was basically a team up between Doctor Strange and America Chavez versus Scarlet Witch. Like it was kind of an ensemble. I don't know.
Yeah, no good, is it?
It was enjoyable, but just, I don't know.
But what other stuff is there? I want to say some stuff I like about the film, though. Imagery's cool. The memory scenes were cool. Going through all these universes was top banter. I think that's where all the budget went to be honest. Just splash it all on the universe. I wish they just stayed in the paint universe for the whole film. That would have been far better than what we got. Or the anime universe. That would have been so banterous. That would have been hilarious.
Yeah.
But yeah, what else was cool? I think Strange's arc overall, him having to, like when Wanda was like, oh, well, when you did stuff, when you gave Thanos the Time Stone and got rid of people's lives for 5 years and my husband died for nothing, you were the good guy. And he was like, oh, yeah. And I like the bit where that Strange also came up with something amazing to Wanda, where he's like, "Well, what happens to the Wanda of that universe then?" And she's like, "Oh, I don't know." So she's also a bit like baffled, but the Strange stuff sort of made sense. Like he's like, "Oh yeah, I did do that shit, didn't I?" Well, her to that Wanda, it's like, so Wanda, you're gonna kill some random universe's basically children's mom, a version of you, just so you can be happy. They wouldn't take that lightly. Who bloody take that if some random unit from another universe came and tried to kill your parents? I mean, bloody hell, you'd be like, what the hell's going on? So that was a bit odd. But I need to think of more stuff I liked. Not really much else. I guess the violence in the film, it was cool how they really pulled no punches with the violence compared to other MCU films. Fight scenes were all right. Imagery was cool. That's about it, really. There's some of the stuff I didn't like. Or actually, you guys want to go on about what you really liked about the film?
Honestly, the thing I praise most is Sam Raimi's direction and how it looked and felt like a really, like, I won't say artistic, but just like a really stylized movie. And that's always fun because the MCU can sometimes be a bit similar feeling between some of the movies. So yeah.
Yeah, so it did make like this Doctor Strange sequel quite different to the first, I suppose, the first Doctor Strange film.
Yeah. Oh, and the scene where they're fighting with musical notes and stuff, that's pretty fun.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah. What was I going to say? I'm trying to think what to. Yeah, like James said, the sequence where they're traveling through different universes, that was cool and creative. They really made this more of a horror film as well. Because I remember Sam Raimi, I think, saying a fair few years ago now that this would be like the first MCU horror film. And there was a fair.
I think it pretty much is.
Yeah, fair amount of that. I remember that scene where like Wanda's sort of like she's going through, like she's teleporting, is it, inside the camouflage where they're in that room, and she's like sort of all like what's it called? And like contorting and all that and whatever.
Yeah,
just kind of unsettling. And to be fair, there are a lot of unsettling moments. To be fair, I suppose they did pretty well with that.
The zombie Strange was cool with all those demons going. Rah! That was amazing.
Oh, yeah,
that was really
cool.
When
he took over his dead corpse, the way it looked actually made me think a bit of like kind of weird. It made me think of like Two-Face and Terminator. The way he looked.
That is true, though. I get what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
You should have just started cracking jokes like them. Oh, what's his name? Tommy Lee Jones, his Two-Face. That would have been hilarious, and just being a bit of a lunatic.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then he could have gone, I'll be back. I'm pretty sure he did do a wink, though, didn't he? He did do a wink. Doctor Strange wink. I swear he winked when he was a zombie to America.
I know there was a moment where I don't know who he was talking to as the corpse. I don't know whether it was her or someone else. And I thought his face just looked like it was really odd. I don't know if he was trying to do an expression or something, and he looked really odd. I don't know. It's gone. But yeah, like I said, there's some cool action scenes as well. And again, like I said, I sort of respect how how creative they were and how unique they made it feel and look. Again, liked the score, like the soundtrack. Yeah, it's back.
That's it.
What else is there? I don't know, actually. I suppose, yeah, again, like, there's a lot of stuff I liked. Some, like I say, some interesting decisions and a lot packed into it. So, yeah, like I say, I don't know. There's a lot I liked. Can't really think of like much else specifically, but
could I just say a few things that I liked and disliked quickly then? America was boring as anything. She was just a MacGuffin person for bloody. I know MacGuffin's usually an item, but she was basically just a device for everyone to save. That was it.
Yeah,
Or
Yeah.
try
yeah.
to get to.
I
So
would
she was
agree.
rubbish. That was hopeless. Wong was indestructible. That was ridiculous. He went flying off a cliff about 20 times and survived, and he seemed a little bit obsolete for half the film. The way she won was ridiculous. Like Strange just said, "You can control your power. Don't worry." And then she was like, "Oh yes, I can control it." That seemed a bit silly. But then the way she convinced Wanda to kill herself was pretty crazy. Well, not she didn't want Wanda to kill herself, but she was like, "Oh, I can't beat you, but I can give you what you want." And she got control of her power just because Strange told her she had control of her power, which was stupid.
Yeah.
But then she saw like, "Hello, boys," and then she pushed the one other Wanda back, and the boys were like, "No, fuck you, get out of here!" And she's like, "No." And then she's like, "All right, then everyone leave. I'm gonna drop rocks on myself," and the whole building just crushed her. So that was a bit of a shit, stupid end to Wanda. Yeah.
Well, let's be honest. She's probably not going to die. She's probably going to be back.
You think she survived getting crushed by those rocks?
Well, not specifically survived, but I think they'll find some way to bring her back because like there's so many.
Don't have
wonders
another
around.
universe version like the like how they're probably going to bring back Gamora.
Or something, also like a zombified, well, not a zombified, but like, you know, because there's so many Wanda fans out there, and they're mostly annoying cunts, but like, oh, I've never, you know, the ones on Twitter that are always like,
Oh,
they're
you've pissed a lot of people off.
you know, good because there are so many on Twitter that are just so obnoxious that I just want them to like this will slow them down a little bit, but.
Ben, you're gonna have a lot of people rolling up outside your house going, "We love Wanda." They're not gonna be happy.
Just specifically in George's voice.
I was going to say actually though, so this Wanda, this is like the main Wanda, isn't it? Who was in this film?
Yeah,
Just to be sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Because of course it can get confusing with all this multiverse stuff and everything that's happening in this film, so you could easily get confused, I guess, maybe with what's going on. But so then, if that is like the end of this Wanda, it's kind of weird, isn't it? It's kind of odd because she first popped up in. She first popped up in Age of Ultron, although she was in that Captain America Winter Soldier post-credit scene, wasn't she, or something, for the first time, I think.
Yeah.
And she was in Age of Ultron, and she's been in some films since. And then it's kind of weird, yeah, because there's the WandaVision stuff, and then there's this, and she does technically kill a lot of people, doesn't she, in this film?
Loads.
So it's kind of it's weird because she like kills a lot of people, like you say, like in well, it's sort of to have those kids, isn't it, or whatever, or to be with those the kids.
Be with those kids, yeah.
Yeah, so it's sort of it's kind of weird, and in that aspect, I don't know, because like I say, she ends up killing a lot of people in the process.
Yeah, like what was the point of her even being a hero? Why didn't she just run off with Vision? You know what I'm saying? So it just seems a bit mad on her end. But what the hell? I was going to say something else about the whole film. Oh yeah, I like the end where, as I say, the big eye pops out of Strange's head. That was pretty cool. Yeah, apart from that, it was a bit bollocks, really. 5.5 out of 10 from me.
It was a bit unexpected, that the eye thing. Oh, there's the post-credit scene as well, wasn't there? Well, there's the one mid-credit scene.
What was the mid-credit scene? Wasn't it just someone saying goodbye?
No, that was the post-credit scene. The mid-credits one was you've got Doctor Strange, and then you've got a new hero, whoever character popping up from another universe, I imagine, and they're played by Charlize Theron. You know, the actress. So I'm guessing she's going to be. I said that I think there's a new character pops up to Strange from another universe. I don't know who the character is, but they're played by Charlize Theron. You know, the actress.
I don't know who she is.
Maybe if you look her up, you might recognise her. She's been in some stuff, but I guess she's going to be in the MCU now. And then I don't know. I think they were talking about finding something.
Charlize Theron.
Charlize Theron. It's CHARLIZE. That's the first name. CHARLIZE, and then THERON.
Here we go. I found bloody hell. She's 46. She looks amazing. 46. Well done. Fair play to her for however she's keeping up those brilliant looks at 46. Fair play. Respect. I don't know any of these. Mad Max Fury Road. I don't really know any of these films. So what was she doing at the end? Did she just all she said was goodbye, and that was that?
I don't know. I can't remember. She was talking about something, and probably I guess they're just setting up something else or a new storyline, and then I think they both went to go to another universe, and
was
then
the mid-credit scene? Then the eye.
So that was the mid-credit scene, and then the post-credit scene was what you said. Do you remember that man who was selling the hot dogs or whatever, and then Doctor Strange squeezed the mustard in his eyes during the film. It's just that man. He's sort of still punching himself because Doctor Strange got him to do that, didn't he? And yeah, and then I think he just said, I don't know. I think he looks at the camera and he's saying like, "You're still here" or something like that. Something stupid or something.
That's a bit rubbish.
Yeah, but
what would you guys give it out of 10 then? Before we move on to Legit or a bit?
Like 7.5.
I think I'll give it an 8.
All right. Let's move on to Legit or a bit then. So, who wants to be the detective? Liam, do you want to be the detective again, or?
I've actually got a story this time.
Okay, Ben, you for being the detective.
I'll be the detective. Yeah.
So I once did Gangnam Style when I dropped someone at a Thai boxing class by punching them in the stomach in 2014. So basically what happened was I learned this new technique that, well, not new technique, but basically like I was thinking to myself, how can I make my punches more powerful? And it was sort of like the trainer sort of left early, so it was sort of like up to us to sort of. There was still a gym staff like on the counter because this was when they had the gym, and they sort of left me in charge because I was like the best. And basically for the conditioning, you hit each other in the stomach, not like the upper stomach, like the lower stomach. And basically, I thought, all right, so I want to try this thing on this guy. He was a bit of an annoying guy. Basically, before I hit him, I pulled my right hand out, then went bam to his stomach with the left, and he went ah and went on the floor, and I was like hey, and then I started going like this, and I was I was just having a bit of a laugh, and I was like, oh, you're right, man, you know, and that was that. So
okay, so how did he respond to this?
He was just on the floor for a while, and he eventually got up. He wasn't like salty or anything. He was a bit of an annoying guy, like a bit of an annoying prat, but he didn't get salty or anything. He was just sort of like a bit of a know-it-all. Like in sparring once, the guy punched me in the nose with a hard jab, and I was like, "What the fuck did you do that for?" We were going light, and he was like, "Oh, it was to test your guard." And I was like, "You're a fucking idiot."
Okay, what made you jump to such specific South Korean choreography?
Oh, it was just celebration that I dropped him. I didn't think it would work. So
okay. Yeah, yours are usually difficult because they're almost always believable. So it's kind of like, so where do you go? Should I guess or
guess or do whatever you want? Ask more questions. Yes.
I think I've heard all I need to hear. I think it's legit.
Yes, it was a load of bullshit. Whoa! Bumsy, bumsy, boom, boom. Yes.
It's kind of believable enough.
Yeah, I did actually drop him once, but I didn't do Gangnam Style. And it was by accident. Well, it was sort of. I thought he'd be able to take the punch, but basically he wasn't. And I was like, "Oh shit! Well, this guy's a bit of a tit, so it doesn't matter." Actually, what's funny though, I actually saw that guy, and he was actually all right when I worked at the hospital in the warehouse when I was delivering stuff around the hospital. I actually saw him and his dad, and they were like, "Oh, hello, James." I was like, "How's it going?" And he was like, still doing the tie box? And I was like, nah. And I was like, I didn't want to ask, who are you? And then the guy was like, I remember me. And I was like, is your name Ewan? And he was like, nah, skinhead. And I was like, I don't remember. And then he said Jack. And I was like, geez, look, oh shit, I said his name. Oh, fuck. But yeah, basically, who cares? There's a million Jacks out there. He said his name was Jack. And I was like, oh shit, bro, you've lost a shit ton of weight, man. Respect. Because he was quite fat when he was doing Thai boxing. I was like, massive fucking respect, bro. I was like, how the hell did you pull that off then? And his dad was saying a bit, and he's like, oh, just total lifestyle change, isn't it? And Jack also said, yeah, like lifestyle change, really, just totally changing lifestyle, a lot of running, and he looked like a different man. I didn't recognise him, so mad respect to. Obviously, Jack isn't going to be watching the podcast, but Jack, if you're out there, I don't dislike you anymore. You're an all right guy when I saw you, and respect that you lost so much weight. So, well done. It was still funny to drop him, though, nonetheless. It was still funny.
I still enjoyed being the shit out of him, though. I'm not going to lie.
That was 2014. Obviously, I wouldn't want to drop him now, and I haven't been able to train properly for years. But I think I still have. I think I'm able to drop any regular Joe, even though I haven't trained in years. I've still got the form. I've still got the technique.
I believe that. Yeah.
I've still got the Gaethje counter hooks. Liam's keeping me in tip-top shape. He's showing me his Mike Tyson head movement. And his feints, Liam showing me those feints that he's got. Gaming channel!
The boxing channel.
Liam. Oh, sorry, go on, Ben.
Oh, no, since they like Creator Clash, but we get Liam in it.
No, Liam, if you get 1,000 subs, could you just go, the boxing channel, and just start going like this?
I don't know, it's no idea.
We got to say something big for 1,000 subs. Since
just do a channel update saying I'm now going to focus on boxing videos.
I've changed disciplines and now it's all about the boxing.
Yeah.
Yes. Change it to TBC.
Yeah. It's the boxing channel. And I'm going to knock you out. Mama said knock you out.
A small uppercut.
I've got a small uppercut.
I joke.
Man.
Well,
oh my God.
Speaking of Liam, let's hear your story then. I'm intrigued.
Okay, so when I was about 5 or 6, I accidentally locked myself in a public toilet.
Okay.
So, any questions?
Like a year ago.
Oh, okay, it's just a simple one. Where was this toilet?
Oh, actually, can I actually say where?
Or
not?
Would you dox any of us or yourself?
You don't. I can rescind the question if necessary and ask a different one.
I don't know. I'm not really sure.
Was it at a shopping centre? Was it at a holiday place?
Okay, yeah. What kind of bathroom was it?
I think actually it might have been in a shop. It might have been. I think it was a shop. I believe.
Yeah. So like one of those little, those bathrooms where you have to like, I can see that because like you get the disabled ones sometimes and they have like different locks on it and stuff. Like I went to the Costa in Birmingham right outside Snow Hill and you had to use a code to get inside the door, and I struggled because you have to like turn 2 different levers at once. So I think
it was. I don't think it was a disabled one, but I think it was just a normal. Male toilets with like the few cubicles and I don't know. There might have been some urinals. I don't know.
Liam, you hadn't been on the small glasses of apple juice
at that age. Oh, maybe
on a sugar high. Yeah. Who was accompanying you on this? Was it your mum, your dad? Who was?
Well, it's the whole family. Yeah, whole family. But I was with my dad and my brother.
They shot into the toilet saying, "Liam, where have you gone?"
No, they were in there at the time. Like they were in the. Like,
I mean, it's the same. It's probably the same as James, where it's not an outlandish lie, so it's so easily like one or the other. I'll ask. I'll try to. I'll try to pry a little bit more. I don't know. I don't really know what to ask. I mean, I suppose because the details are going to be quite fuzzy as well. Right. I'll just say I'll go with the same answer that I had for James because I'm not a skeptic and say that it's legit.
Yes, it was legit.
Yeah, there we go.
Were you panicking, Liam? Were you like, gaming channel, help? Or was it all right?
Yeah, well, yeah. To be fair, I was. Yeah.
I can't imagine you ever getting panicky. All I can imagine is, Father, I am currently in the toilet. Can you get me, please? That is all.
Yeah.
So you were a bit like,
then,
help.
Yeah, and then so I think my dad was trying to get help me get out, and
Shit, like crawl underneath.
I'm coming, Liam.
And then I think at one point they might have said that like they'll have to come back and get me, or like something like that, or
Believe in you,
help
Liam.
I don't know.
No.
But which I didn't.
Oh boy.
I didn't want that to happen. But
how did you break the toilet open then? I mean,
I think I just managed to unlock it eventually. I don't know. I think it must have been like an awkward lock or something. Maybe it was a bit harder to like unlock when I was that age. I don't know. It might be something like that. I guess I probably shouldn't have locked it at the time, but you know, I did. So
yeah,
I guess that's what it was.
Well,
I think
I'm glad I got one.
I was going to say sorry. I think it just a bit random. I think I could be wrong, but I think it might have the whole thing might have lasted like 15-20 minutes. I think.
Jeez, that's a bit traumatic.
Which was a while, but I think. I mean, I could be wrong because it was like.
Is this why we always have to accompany you when you go to the toilet and spoons? Hold hands. Hand holding chain.
Mad.
Actually, this isn't. I can't do this for legit or a bit because it's a true story. But when I was very drunk once in Cheltenham,
no, it can be true. You can say it for legit or a bit if you want, or do you want to tell it now?
Well, it's a true story, so I'll just tell it as like as a bonus. It's legit, but yeah. When I was very drunk in Cheltenham a few months ago, a couple of months ago, basically, I had to be led. Someone had to hold my hand and lead me to the toilet because I was that pissed and couldn't find where it was.
Was it a bloke or a woman?
It was my friend Lydia.
Oh, nice, fair play. I would have nothing wrong if it's a bloke, but I would have laughed my ass off if it was Scott trying to get into the toilet.
No, that's the thing. In this, as an offshoot, the first advertising social I ever did was the thing where they taped the first year students to the third year students by your wrists, and she won't mind me telling the story, but like Lydia was she's about like literally like 5'1" or like 4'11". She's really short, and she was taped to a Canadian guy in the third year who was like 6'2", 6'3". So there was this massive height difference, and at one point, the issue, obviously, when you're drinking is like, when do you go to the toilet if you're taped to someone? And people had to either like hold it or undo the tape. They just went in together.
That is pretty legendary.
Like, it came out like 5 minutes later, still taped up, being like, pussy, pussy.
That is really dedicated. That is mad dedication. I respect that.
Yeah. Yeah, those are my two legit stories with them.
That would have been good for legit or a bit, but funny though, funny nonetheless.
Yeah.
So yeah, what was I going to say? A few little things to round off. Anyone got any news? We have mentioned Shooty before. Now we mentioned that on the Star Wars one. So
mention what? Sorry.
Shooty being the Doctor.
Shooty Gatwa, yeah.
Oh yeah.
I would have never expected it, but I think based on his performance in Sex Education. I think it's a good choice because he's very camp and flamboyant, and that's kind of like it's like the Sixth Doctor. He was very like camp and flamboyant, but also a bit sinister. So I don't
know. But any general news that we haven't already covered, or nothing?
Oh, I was going to say actually. there's been a few trailers that have been released recently, like the Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order sequel. It's called Jedi Survivor.
Interesting title, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not gameplay, it's just a cinematic, but it's interesting in terms of what it's setting up. Have you both watched that trailer or?
Yeah,
I have. Yeah, it's. I don't know if it's supposed to spoil stuff here, but there's like there's a mysterious figure in a tank, and I'm not wondering who it is. Or
I think the figure in the tank is Cal, isn't it? I think.
Well, that's what I was wondering. I thought, is it?
But he's looking at the tank at the end, isn't he? So.
And you've got that Powan as well. I think that's his species. You know, same species as the Inquisitor. Okay. You know, that one who sat down.
He looks a bit like that guy sat down. Looked a bit like you're on about the grey geezer.
Yeah.
Yeah, he looks a lot like the bloke on who Palu says.
Yeah, exactly. Watched. Yeah, same species. Yeah. Same species.
Nice.
He's just, but he's not as slim as him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. Actually, Cal was fighting a lightsaber wielding opponent as well, wasn't he? Don't know if that was another Inquisitor or something. Maybe. I don't know.
Hold on. Yeah, the dude in the tank. He looks like an old geezer with really long grey hair. It looks like. Can't be Cal.
I thought from memory it was, but
he looks like that lady in the small alien, and the other lady who are in the ship at the end. It looks like they might be killed off because they're not in the trailer, and the ship's totaled at the start of the trailer. So,
well, it's coming next year anyway, so we know that.
Quite a while away.
Yeah.
Weird.
And the Andor trailer was released recently as well. You know, the other Star Wars show that's coming.
I haven't watched that. What's that?
Yeah, Andor looks good. I mean,
it's about Cassian Andor from Rogue One.
Oh, is he the bloke? Is he the main bloke with Jin?
Yeah. But it's going to be following all of that and whatever. It could be interesting. I don't know. We'll see.
It looks more interesting for how it's exploring the setting of the galaxy in that era, where you see like the Empire and all that, and that looks really. That has potential to be really cool. And I'll be honest, it's quite sad that it's gotten me more hyped than the fucking Obi-Wan trailer did. Even though I have way more interest in Obi-Wan than I do with fucking Andor. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
So a few things I wanted to ask though, Ben. When's his Silver Surfer documentary coming out?
Oh man, I wouldn't say I've given up on that, but it's very much in production hell at the moment because I've not really had any time. I just had other stuff I've been focused on, like anthology. I like writing that, and then freelancing
what's
stuff.
The anthology?
I'm not talking about anthology or anything. Or I probably have.
What have you wrote? What anthology?
Like my short story stuff. That really?
No, I don't know anything about this, Ben. You never mentioned it before.
Huh. Well, that might have to be for a future podcast then. In that case. Or
is it about your life and dancing and laughing?
It's like the best way I could describe it would probably be like meta space fantasy that takes inspiration from like Star Wars, but also Community.
I'm really annoyed you haven't told me about this. I'm livid.
I thought I had. I'm surprised. I usually like when I get drunk, I usually just like talk about it to anyone.
Damn.
But
so the Silver Surf thing's on the hold for a while. Liam, when's your shit coming about? Then your next Halo funny moments.
Oh, I don't know. I haven't started working on part 2 yet of that. Don't know, maybe next week. I don't know.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Whatever shit I've got planned, I'll just get shit out as and when, as I always say. I've just the past 2 weeks of work. I said this on the Brick Flick. Absolute rubbish. Absolute balls. Here's to me. Here's to decent podcasts, better weeks, and here's to friends. Come on, Ben, get your gin.
Oh, I've run out.
Come on. Hey. Oh yeah, drink. Sorry. Oh.
There's a little bit left. No, I had some Jaffa Cake gin for my birthday, so I've been kind of sipping that down. It's really good.
Nice. Fair dues. But yeah, I suppose everyone just has shit times at work, don't they? I suppose I can't talk about my job too much on the pod just because I don't want people messaging my workplace or doing stupid stuff. Well, they probably wouldn't, but I know because barely anyone watches the pod, obviously. But I don't want the risk of that happening, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah, I'm not going to say where I work just in case, you know.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, exactly. But basically, currently the phones have just been mostly pistol mental, just like mad. Like the previous job I had where I worked at an advice line, the busyness is nothing compared to that. Like the busyness is mad. Because usually supervisors and managers don't say, "Oh, this is hard," because they want to encourage you that they want to make you think that it's not too hard. But I've had people say to me like, "Yeah, you know, it's stupidly busy. It's just manic and madness." So, one thing I was going to ask Liam on another pod, or it might have been. No, it might have been when we were out on the pub crawl, actually. Both George and Aaron said they've seen you at your workplace, and sometimes you're on your own, dealing with everything. So how do you deal with that, man? With all the manicness, like serving 20 customers and then going back in the warehouse and moving 50 things around?
Yeah, like I say, I mean, you know, when it's busy, it's not always, like, great, but you can always just buzz for someone. Like, if there's no one on the shop floor, for example, like, you could buzz for someone to come out if it does get busy or if a big queue does form.
How many people can you buzz?
Well, it's just, well, really, like, if you're buzzing for someone to jump on, then it's usually like one person, you know. It's basically just like, you know, like it's just a signal, and then and like there's like a bell.
It's the buzzer. Hello there. Hello there. Hello there. Hello there. Hello there.
Yeah, but it's like I said, there's just a bell out the back, like which like it sounds when you press it, and and you know, people at the back, or if like someone's further down the shop, you know, like then they might hear it as well and whatever. Yeah. So
fair play that you deal with all that manicness on your own sometimes. I really respect that. So that's pretty cool. I'll have to one day if I'm down there, which I'm not really in that shopping centre much, just because CBA, unless it's the pub that's in there. I don't even know that's the specific shop you work at. To be fair, I don't know where it is specifically, but I'll have to try and come and visit you one day for the shits and banter and just be like, "Hey, what's going on?" and witness the Liam in his prime form dealing with all the managers.
Just accidentally gets him fired. No.
But I mean, if you guys ever wanted to come and visit me at work, you could. I mean, you need a pass to get in, and you wouldn't be able to get through the spinning gates. But you could come for the joke. You could trespass into the building and just jump over the gates and just walk up 2 floors and say, "It's James here," and then I go, "Yes, lads."
Well, mine you can come into the shop, but I don't know about the you know.
Yeah, it'd be too difficult to come to our way. But yeah, you could go and visit Liam in the shop. You could buy the whole place up, couldn't you? Liam, do you think you'll ever be... Liam, what would you do if George started buying the whole place up and just like said it and wanted to buy it all? Would you accept it or no?
It's not like he gets commission, so it probably wouldn't affect him, would it?
Yeah, I mean, it'd probably be annoying because there's so many things, so many items, but
all through the scanner or whatever.
Yeah. God, yeah, that'd be a lot.
Look, just as long as none of them have fucking Doctor Who merchandise on them, then you're good.
Or Nintendo.
No, we don't have any. No, we don't have either of that. We don't usually have either of those, to be fair. So,
fair.
Do you have any Lego? Do you have any Lego?
Only like recently we had this like little sort of Lego Duplo thing, which is like a little kids sort of thing.
Oh no!
And then apart from that, we have like those little sort of
James, do that again.
Kids books as well.
I'm not doing that again.
Okay.
All right, go on then. There you go. You've had your fill. There you go.
Thank you.
You've had your many pictures that you can send to all the university people, your former university friends, and they'll think, "Damn, Ben is friends with a true Sigma male, Patrick Bateman type."
Absolutely.
but a good version, not the one who not the good side of Sigma males, not the evil side where he goes, "Hey Liam, could you watch American Psycho? I'd love to get your opinions on it." It's such an amazing movie.
I don't know, maybe. I mean, it's not really something on me, but
don't you find it funny when Patrick Bateman's dancing around and killing people?
I prefer
I
their
didn't know
earlier
that.
work.
Huh?
Yeah, he's picking like musical artists, and he says, "I prefer their earlier work before they went so avant-garde."
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I could just
breakdown
give
at
it
the
a watch.
end. His mental breakdown at the end was so fun.
Oh,
well,
wait! Don't spoil it! Don't spoil it.
what? Don't spoil it for Liam.
Maybe I haven't seen it. I guess so.
Oh, so will you watch it, Liam, or can I spoil everything for you?
Maybe, I don't know.
I think I was going to say as well. I think if the channel gets 1,000 subs, we need to recreate the Prince Ali from Aladdin theme. Liam, you can be the genie. That'd be quite funny.
Okay.
That'd be pretty good. No, but
I was going to say, going back to what I was saying as well about the, like, we don't so much Lego. There's just the Lego, like the little Lego Duplo, like set in like a little bag or something, and then those sort of little books with like the minifigures that come with them.
Oh, that's not too shabby. There's a shop in my town that sells them, and I'm really surprised that they have these little Lego figures that come in the books. But I suppose it encourages kids to buy some books, or it encourages George and me to buy the whole place up.
Yeah, yeah. But other than that, yeah, we don't really have like proper like Lego sets or anything like that, you know.
Fair enough, bro. Fair enough. Well, I guess we can nicely wrap up there, unless you guys have anything else.
Wait. It's one last thing to show you in the Discord channel.
To get my brilliant reaction. Ben, is it something that will get... I don't want to look at it because I might want to just get my live reaction to it.
I like how you've done that.
It's nothing illegal or bad.
Okay, hold on. I'm covering it. I just want to share screens first. All right. I'm genuinely covering it. All right, let's get it up. Let's get it up. All right. Quick. Oh, I just saw it. That's...
It's cool how he's done it.
that is quite good. I'll give you that one.
Thank you.
Very. Thing is, Ben, I'm willing to laugh at myself. When you had all those spots, you said, "I refuse to show my arse on screen."
Oh, come on!
I refuse to show my face.
Oh, come on!
I wouldn't have laughed at the spots, Ben. I would have been all right with it.
That's different.
When you true, yeah.
I'm being laughed at.
Yeah. Nah, but when you were at the pub, because when you didn't want to show your face, I was so confused. I was like, "What's wrong? What's happened to Ben's face?" Because he looked totally normal at the pub last week. So what's happened? Is everything okay?
Yeah.
But then you obviously said that it was a few spots, and it's fair enough. To be fair, I always say to people, like, even if you never want to show your face on the pod again, it's fine. You know, it's your call, innit? So
yeah, it was just a thing at the time, really. You know.
How did you fix it then? Did you get some spot cream, or did it go away? Do you think it was
it's not. Well, it's not. It's not a thing with the skin. It's a thing with the picking of the skin. It's not like a nice thing.
Oh, is it like a stress thing? Like you pick the skin and then it happens?
Yeah, it's called dermatillomania. It's technically like on the OCD spectrum as like a disorder of some kind. So
that's actually really sad. Then I didn't realise that. That's quite a shame.
It is what it is, you know. But yeah, you know, I'm fine. Like it's better now. I think we're like,
yeah, I can't.
I don't mind.
No spots on my end.
Sometimes I think it's because like it's like video chatting is fine, but because it's been recorded for a podcast that's uploaded, it's like, you know, you don't want to. I don't want to like look back and just be like, oh, you know.
But I was gonna say quickly though, I'm gonna try and watch a lot of things in order now instead of trying to balance 50 shows. So the next show I'm going to try and watch, I'm obviously going to watch things that come out weekly on Disney Plus, but I'm going to try and get through Peacemaker and then Moonlight and review both of them on separate pods. Just because I'm trying to balance too many shows and I just never, it feels like I get things watched, but like it'll be like 20 years before I've watched them. And I have to watch 2 films a week for the Kino Ron, which I'm fine with, but like I'm watching a lot of shit and sometimes it just feels like I don't get through enough, so I'm going to just try and watch one thing and watch the other things I have to watch and watch things that come out weekly on Disney+. But obviously you got Better Call Saul in a few more weeks and you got Stranger Things out. There's so much out. So, yeah.
Yeah, I'm currently watching Stranger Things, and it's
No spoilers. Is it good though or bad?
it was good up until the point where 11. No, wait. I'm just kidding. Yeah, it's good. I think, to be honest,
Better
I've
than
never
series
been
3 and 2 and 1, or
too early to tell. I think. I mean, I've never been like a huge fan, like as much as some people, because some people go fucking nuts for it.
yeah,
And
I think it's
I can
pretty
never
good.
get that obsessed, even though I'm like a big A's guy. I think because it's kind of like Stephen King-esque, and I'm not really, you know.
Mhm.
But I think
I
it's
mean,
good. Like, you know,
I do. I sort of, I don't know, like I'm not really in the Stranger Things fandom, but I really like watching it a lot. If that makes sense, like I'm more
that's
in the
literally yeah.
I'm more in the Breaking Bad and Game of Thrones fandom. Not that much. The fandom I'm in the most is like Star Wars. Everything else is sort of like I either know a bit about it or smidges, or I like it a lot. Star Wars, I really love, like, you know, all the clone troopers and all the different things. I don't know as much as you guys, but everything else, it's sort of a bit like I like being invested in the universe, but I don't really know like about I don't know, Kit Harington's toenail clippings in series 3 of Game of Thrones or whatever, you know, or
Mate, yeah.
or Walter White's nose hairs or Erman Trout's bum hairs. You know, I don't know. I don't know that much about the Vince Gilligan universe. Or
At the Badiverse. Yeah.
yeah. But anyway, oh no, you know how it's called Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad? Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul, the Ball universe, the balls.
I mean, I call it the Badiverse. So
The
like,
Vince Balls universe.
so like, but like, yeah.
Ben, that's offensive. You racist. Get out of here. Naughty. Naughty.
I don't know. Oh no, I've moved to the bottom now.
Yeah.
Oh, the hierarchy has changed.
Yeah.
Liam,
Liam,
demoted.
I'm a quest, thank you.
You better donate 50p to my Janabate streams or I'll show my ass, thank you. So, yeah. Liam, could you do your outro to send this one off?
Ah, okay. Well, I may as well just start by saying thank you for watching. I hope you all enjoyed it. Be sure to like and subscribe to ALP Podcast, and that is all.
And now James is going to do Gangnam Style.
Right, everyone. Peace out.